Wash them.
Okay, I'm gonna have you start by washing my hair the way that you were doing it, without any correction. Okay.
Let it spray you a little bit more.
So, okay. So I'm gonna give you some pointers. We've not done any hair washing training with you, correct?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you turn that sink on, and I'm gonna have you hand me that nozzle, okay? So is it on full? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so even here, when you have it here, I can still feel the spray from the shower head or the nozzle onto my face, okay?
Right.
So this is one of the things that we want to avoid, and I feel like this is one of the most rookie mistakes, is we just saturate our clients' faces, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of the first things that I teach. I want you to push that nozzle right up against the hairline and point it in the direction of the hair growth, or down the hair shaft, right? Away from the face.
Uh-huh.
Notice how there's no spray at all on my face, okay? Mm-hmm. This is no spray. This is, ooh. Okay, the other thing that I want you to do is I want you to use your hands to protect the ear, and always guide the water away from the ear. Always guide it away from the ear. Getting water in the ear canal when you're getting your hair washed is probably one of the most irritating things in the world. For me specifically, I have hearing issues. My eardrums are very sensitive, and as soon as someone gets water in my ear and then they turn my head, that water goes straight down into my ear canal, and I am miserable, sometimes for weeks. I've gotten ear infections from it. So we always want to protect the ear, okay? And here's how you're going to reach the back. You're going to use 2 hands. You're going to set your nozzle down. You're going to use 2 hands and let your client know, lift them. You're going to say, I'm going to gently turn you to the right, and you're going to turn them to the right, okay? Mm-hmm. Or you're going to say, I'm going to gently turn you to the left, and you're going to turn them to the left. Then you're going to use your hands, right? Well, actually, your palm would be facing the nozzle, but the back of my hand is right now for coordination's sake. And you're going to protect the hairline with your hands, so you're not drenching the back of their neck, and you're going to push that away from the neck, from the skin, towards the sink, right?
Yeah.
Same thing on this side. It's going to look something like this. You're just going to push it away, right?
Yeah.
You're also, when the neck is turned like this, you're going to be able to get all of this right back here without any issues. So that way, now you can avoid lifting your client's head up, sticking that nozzle straight up towards the back of their occipital, spraying water all over the place, right?
Yeah.
You also are avoiding, when you lift their head up like that and try to get behind their neck, that is when that water drips down from the occipital onto the nape, onto their neck, and into their shirt, okay?
Yeah.
So now we're avoiding that issue as well. Just simply lift and say, I'm going to turn your head to the right. Use 2 hands, do it slowly, support and guide their neck, and then use that nozzle around the hairline, pointing away from the face and the hand to guide that water into the drain. Okay, very simple. We feel good about that?
Yep.
Okay. The last thing that I want you to notice is how we folded this towel in the sink, okay? How much water is on this towel right now? Very little. Show me how you folded it the first time. I think you took a towel and just did this, right?
Yeah,
that's very common.
One of this one's over. I know I did that, but yeah,
very common. So the issue with folding a towel like that and putting it in the wash bowl is you have so much towel sitting in the wash bowl, and cotton is absorbent. Mm-hmm. Cotton absorbs water. So if that towel's sitting in the wash bowl, even if you're protecting the neck of the hairline, any of that runoff that finds the towel drinks and sucks in, and the water starts traveling from here all the way to here, right? Mm-hmm. And that towel becomes so wet and so saturated that it does not matter if you have a drape on them, or if their neck is toweled, you will start drenching their shirt and their shoulders and their back. Okay, if the towel is wet, they're getting wet. So this is why we handkerchief fold our towel. We only put a little bit of the towel in the wash bowl. We're covering a few inches, just enough to make this crevice here comfortable for your guest. And that's it. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Beautiful.
It's like the one thing my husband complained about too was the water in his ear.
Try this side again. I want to see your hand positioning. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, now go ahead and rotate the head.
Turn your head to the right.
Yep.
And then I'm going to turn it to the left.
Beautiful. How do you feel like the access is to that hairline right now?
It's so much better than normal.
Good. You feel like you can actually get color off the
Oh,
hairline. Yeah, I'm one of those clients that has a very low hairline on the neck. It like is the weirdest thing, but if you don't absolutely and intentionally saturate my hairline, my neckline with water, I will leave with color on my neck every single time, and it becomes very irritating to the skin, obviously, and it's poor presentation. So
yeah, that it's like on that neckline, especially because it goes so far down.
yep.
The soothing hair.
Okay, so the other thing that I want you to do before you wash the hair, put your product in your hand, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And with a little bit of water, I want you to emulsify your hands really well, okay? Get that kind of white and bubbly before you even put it on the hair shaft, and you will notice that your product will go farther, I promise you.
I see.
Yep. Oh,
'Cause-
do you hear that
Yeah.
difference already?
Yeah. Well, sometimes like I go in and just add water, but if you
Yes.
do it the opposite way, it's so much.
It's quicker
Yeah.
and easier. Yeah.
I mean, I do need to a little bit.
Yep,
now.
you do. But yeah, get that product emulsified and bubbly before you even apply it.
Right.
And do that with every wash. You'll see how much more emulsification you get when you're applying that product. And
how would you recommend, or how do you do your? Because I feel like I, don't want to irritate their extensions. So how would you?
How do we work around extensions when we shampoo?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to say this. Most extension wearers are so tough-headed. Most of them are and have been doing it for decades. Like some of us are just chronic extension wearers.
Right.
And so you don't have to worry about us being super tender-headed. What I do want you to worry about is the angle at which you approach with your fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have tapes laying like this, you don't want to wash like this.
Right.
Okay? You want to wash with your fingers in between those rows. And this is in the back of the head, whether they have sew-ins, whether they have, if they have beads, you want to get your fingertip in there and get in between the eye tips or the beaded rows,
right,
or in between the tapes. So if you keep your motions parallel to the rows of how those extensions are applied, you shouldn't have many issues.
Right. Because that's where, yeah, it goes so much smoother.
So this is when you would turn the head and be like, I'm going to wash the back of the head. So lift the head, turn it.
Okay, I'm going to lift you to the right.
And then keep in mind the rows and how those tapes are applied.
Mm-hmm.
And just, even if you want to lift them one at a time and just get your fingers in between those rows, you can. Wonderful. Great job, my love. You're doing it. You're washing hair so well. Things.
My husband will probably let me wash his hair finally.
I think it's important for each stylist to understand that there is an art to even the smallest things when we're taking care of people at the wash bowl or behind the chair. And it's these little things, these little acts of refinement that we can do to elevate our presentation level with our guests, but not only that, to help them feel more comfortable when receiving services.
Right. Well, I guess, yeah, you don't realize how, like, the little thing affects literally
spraying
everything.
The face, water in the ear, hair color on the back of the neck. All of these are such common issues that just make like the whole hair experience feel kind of unpleasant sometimes,
Right.
you know?
Well, in the spraying, like, you were doing it, but like I couldn't even see the spray. So
Yes.
you don't see it unless somebody's like, my whole face is drenched.
Yep. And you're not even aware of it because we're so focused on like getting it done and making it happen and blah, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we forget to be mindful of the little things. Okay, so the thing that I'm going to give you feedback on, turn my head again, it doesn't matter which way, but I really want you to focus on this area right here. Right. The occipital, the farthest point behind the head. For some reason we have, and like right below that into the nape, for some reason we have the hardest issue getting that area clean. I don't know what it is. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's literally every stylist. For some reason, we harbor, number one, the most oil and bacteria back there, right? And it's just difficult for us to like be mindful enough of,
Right.
It's just difficult for us to be mindful of it sometimes. And I really want you to focus on that for this point of the occipital. Yep. Get your fingers in there and right above the nape. So in between the occipital and the nape is really where you want to focus. Yep. Yes. Get it super clean. Especially with extensions, that place right there is like the tough. And we wonder why it's the toughest to dry too with extensions. Well, it's the toughest to dry because it harbors the most oil, has the most product. It's usually the wettest or the sweatiest. You know what I mean?
Right.
and it just becomes difficult. Once you feel like you have rubbed and emulsified everywhere on the head, whether you're getting foam or suds or not, I'm gonna have you rinse with warm water and then we're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll find that the emulsification on the second wash is so much better because what you've done is you've gone in and you've broken up all those oils. Now they're ready to be lifted off of the hair shaft with the second wash.
That
and
makes
you'll
sense.
get way more bubbles.
And that's why you wash twice.
Yes, ma'am. Always wash twice. Pre-wash, pre-cleanse, and then a cleanse. You're doing great.